I'd like to make a toast to the matriarch of our family, Carmel.
That's very, very
Before we
good.
start, put your glass around for a minute.
The matriarch.
Well, I'd like to say we can't know ourselves directly.
You what?
We only know ourselves through the reflection of others.
Oh.
Pardon me.
We never see our own faces, we rely on a mirror. And so we see ourselves through the reflection of others, and that's how we truly know ourselves. And so tonight I'm going to endeavour to reflect some of my mother's characteristics to you.
Oh,
My mother is, as every mother is, 1 in a million.
Yes, I agree. Wow. Who said that?
She was paid. We all have our own stories of my mother. And collectively, they're woven together to form this wonderful tapestry, displaying her beautiful characteristics. She touches us in similar yet different ways. Now, there are some things about my mother.
Here we go.
There are some things that my mother would rarely do, and there are some things she would never do.
Okay.
She would rarely raise her voice or use colourful language. She would never let the fuel gauge in her car go below halfway.
Absolutely. That's completely true. Absolutely.
These two worlds collided when myself and Fran were in Spain some years ago.
Yep.
Fran was driving, and at the end of the trip, the fuel gauge not only was below halfway, it was in the red. Now, to most people, that's not an issue. To my poor mother, it was the cause of lots of distress.
Yes.
And Fran reassured her and said, "Listen, Carmel, don't worry. We'll get to the next fuel station. We'll be grand."
She's a few miles away.
And we drove, and I could see Fran taking his foot off the accelerator, and the car slowed down. And I said to Mum, "Oh, we've run out of petrol!" Well, not only did her voice go up a few decibels, the colour of the air in the car turned 50 shades of blue. That's all I can say. The language out of her and the roars out of her were something else. And Fran put his foot on the accelerator, the car took off, and she was grand again.
Terrible trick.
That's dreadful, Fran.
My mother has taught me, though, to think outside the box. She's always taught me not to take the usual path to proceed, that if you focus, you will find a way. And this isn't just a theory that my mother was passing on to me. This was wisdom. This was lessons learned, and sometimes the hard way. Growing up with 3 daughters, raised many challenges.
Oh, me.
You were very pretty. I married you.
You won't want to be involved in this, believe me.
Coming to you in a minute.
No, quite in a minute I left it. There will be questions. But,
Could she?
I know. 3 girls raised many challenges. And sometimes it was hard for my mother. It was hard for my mother to keep her fancy knickers in her drawers. And she had to lock them up in the car on more than one occasion from the daughters.
Nikki.
See why I left you, Edling? Do you want to be included in that one?
Probably not.
Unless it's a
Children are
transvestite.
present.
I had none to wear one day, and I had to wear Liam's underpants.
Well,
You got that?
So there's the cross-dresser.
another challenge my mother had was keeping the nice biscuits for the guests.
Oh, yeah.
Does that happen in any other family?
No.
There'd never be nice biscuits left. I think we were all involved in that, Liam.
Absolutely guilty, Charles.
No, Liam was in the ringleader. Yeah.
Well, my
I
mother,
can reach.
my mother, thinking outside the box, literally found more inventive places to hide her biscuits. It was the washing machine, under the stairs, even in our bedroom. And it's true what they say, sometimes that which is right in front of you you never see. We all know my mother to be determined and very considerate. And I recall when I was young, what's coming next? When I was young, she worked Monday to Friday. She also worked at weekends on the keyboards. And this displayed another endearing strand to my mother's character. There was a deep connection to her family, looking after us, and her parents as well, George and Josephine, many times would be at those clubs, waving her on. They had a great belief in Carmel. And it was only with George's passing that Carmel retired from the club scene, as it was hard for her mother to be in the audience on her own. And that belief that her parents had in her, you know, your loved ones tend to believe in you more than you believe in yourselves. And my mother believed in us. I came up with many harebrained ideas. One or two, and I won't mention them. But my mother, she encouraged me to follow my heart. And that belief in somebody is a type of love. A love of the highest order, where you constantly believe, yeah, go for it, it'll be grand next time. And it's that belief in me that made me realise that anything is possible. I've learned many lessons from my mother over the years, and I'm sure I have some more to learn. Some lessons to teach my little 3 dead buttons up. I think the most valuable lesson is the lesson of love. You know, love, it isn't passed from person to person. It passes from soul to soul, heart to heart. Can you feel it? And that lesson of love, those strands, as I look around this room at our family and the gathering, and I see my own sisters and my brother, and we've grown up in very unique ways. But that strand of love connects us. And love is the cornerstone of our families, whether it expresses itself through raising a family, having a career, being talented. Lots of talent on this side of the room, is it? Or being of service to someone. The love is there in our family. And I'd imagine that when you reach 80, you might reflect on your life and say, did I make a difference? Was I successful? And the answer is a resounding yes, ma'am.
Was I?
Yes.
You were successful. You were successful as a mother. You were successful as a mother, and you still are. You have woven this beautiful, unique tapestry. You've touched all our lives in similar, yet different ways. I thank you for your life, for the lessons learned, and for being you.
Oh, thank you
Can
very
we all
much.
raise our glasses? Can I say one more thing before we raise our glasses? There's also 2 more birthdays this week. We had Eileen, celebration
That's
birthday.
right.
Didn't know.
And
Bridget.
And we have Kay.
And we have Kay. Anybody else? This is very popular.
I was 3 weeks ago.
Yes,
Sharon. Next month. Next month. I could hear the end of the month.
I'm doing this. For all of us. Hey, thank you for being here.
Cheers.
To Carmel.
Best of luck.
Cheers, Carmel. And while we're talking about the 80 years and memory lane, can I ask you to look at the screen and Peter will do his thing.
Oh, all right, hang on.
Peter, do your thing.
I got a reboot.
No pressure, Peter.
I got a reboot.
Very well done, Carol.
No, Star Wars. Star Wars. Star Wars.